A surprising Boston Bruins player has been praised by Jim Montgomery as well as many Bruins fans, and the role that he has been given is only getting better as he is getting another shot tonight at the second line. That being Justin Brazeau. I'm going to be talking about how his season is only going up from here, how he's been playing, and the upgraded role that he has been given, as well as a pretty sneaky reason as to why he is playing good here in this video. Before we get into it, though, we know 70% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your Boston Bruins news, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button, join me here on the channel. We're covering everything Boston Bruins related. But without any further ado, let's get into the video. We're going to be talking with Justin Brazeau, and I absolutely love this decision to keep Brazeau on the second line once again. Justin Brazeau has been one of the guys on this team that's really been bouncing around in just about every scenario as where he could possibly play. As of the beginning of the season, as we know, it was a bit tough, but now the season's starting to get underway. The Bruins seem to be a bit more comfortable, especially against the game against the Maple Leafs. We finally seem to have that consistency, that drive to want to win, not very many penalties, and all of the things just factoring into a big team win. Justin Brazeau, however, has not really had the hottest start to the season, but we've been easily being able to notice that it has started to pick up and up and up every single game. That being said as well, with that, he gets promoted to the second line last game, plays well there, and gets another shot tonight on the second line. As you can see by Jim McBride there, the Tuesday morning defensive pairings, goalies, and forward lines. You have the first line of obviously Pavel Zacha, Elias Lindholm, and David Pastrnak, but the second line, Brad Marchand, Charlie Coyle, and Justin Brazeau for a second straight game, taking over Morgan Geeky's spot. And if you watched last video, I mentioned how I really enjoyed the decision of switching Brazeau for Geeky, and noticing that Geeky was not playing too well. Brazeau was starting to play hot. That decision made a lot of sense to me, and it looks really good, and it did. It worked out very, very well, and as you can see here, working well enough to make Justin Brazeau that second line right winger for a second straight game. And obviously the fourth line isn't going to be split up. We tried that once, didn't overly work out too well, so when we're looking at it, we have the third and second line to switch, but it seems like now we may have our final decisions in lineup changes for the time being, until we see maybe a Tyler Johnson, maybe a rookie or a prospect come up from the AHL, but for now, Justin Brazeau being on the second line is an absolute massive upgrade and a massive opportunity for Justin Brazeau in this case, knowing that he's given a big opportunity in what is a contract year. And that's a big thing of why he's been playing so well, which I will touch on a bit later, is how the contract year is going to impact what we're seeing here now. This is what Jim Montgomery had to say about Brazeau this morning, about how he's been playing and why he's on the second line, saying he's getting into the areas that he has success in. His goal is the best example of it, but on the power play too. He was owning in the net front. He knows what he is, and he's played to what he is. And that's a very good sign that Jim Montgomery sees a lot of potential in a guy like Justin Brazeau, who ultimately in the AHL, the ECHL, was given a lot of time there, made that break last year for the Bruins and never looked back from there. Obviously, the injury last year absolutely sucked how good he was. And in the playoffs, we didn't see the best Brazeau, but he was still trying to get his feet underneath him. But now that we're seeing him back on the ice, starting to heat up once again, I'm very happy to see this, especially playing for what was my local team once, watching him play. I seen the talent that he possessed, even at the lower leagues, the lower levels of hockey, and he was so good. I seen a lot of potential in him, and that is certainly turning out to be true now with the Boston Bruins. The size of Justin Brazeau is a big part of why he is a Bruin. The Bruins, like some of these big players, some of these big guys, big net front presence, will never forget the times that Zdeno Chara was put in net front in the power play in the playoffs and whatnot. That's the Justin Brazeau role at this very moment. And looking at the power play as well as what we're seeing, given that opportunity on the power play too, is another big step up as to why he's getting this role, why he's getting this opportunity, and just playing so good that they're giving him every possible chance. Well, we see him on power play 2 here right now with Lindholm, Lowry, Coyle, Brazeau, and Poitras getting some game time reps in front of this morning for Boston Philly. However, I would not be surprised if we do see Brazeau at some point on this power play 1. If we do see a struggling power play, if we do see at some point someone go down, and we hopefully we don't, but Brazeau could be that next guy up and have that next guy up mentality for whether that be for power play 1, maybe that be a first line on the right on even strength. Very, very unlikely there, but you never know really in any situations. Whoever's hot, Jim Montgomery may have to go with them in any given scenario, but I'm excited to see what Brazeau can do. And on this, this is the Lions' last game, excuse me. And seeing Brazeau there with Coyle, Marchand, keeping these same lines, I think is going to be something that Jim Montgomery may want to try a few games. It worked last time against the Maple Leafs. It'll be a good test here for tonight. And if this does continue, we have our lines. But looking at that as well, and looking at Justin Brazeau's stats from the past, as you can see, last season, in the 19 games, he had 7 points, which was pretty good. It wasn't a bad average coming out to it, but still, rookie year, not even getting into it. And this officially is rookie year at the age of 26, a guy who's normally not, the guy like Justin Brazeau, normally not one of these rookies that you really would pay too much attention to, but he's taking a very big leap and a very big step for Bruins fans and around the NHL. He's certainly starting to get his name out there, and there's a lot of people who I'm seeing now, not Bruins fans, starting to mention the name Justin Brazeau, and 3 points in 7 games this season. Not a bad pace for a guy who started off on the third line, a big guy, not really known for his points, not really known for goal scoring ability or assists or passing or whatnot, but his net front presence, his role on this team was so specific, and it's such a big influence and situation for the Bruins to have a guy like Brazeau who can be that unit, that force down in the offensive zone, and also have a pretty solid time on defense. I see Justin Brazeau being a very big piece of this team's futures for years to come. And as I mentioned, the size, 6'5", 220, a guy like that who is big and tall. He's not just tall, he's not just big, he is big and tall. He's a guy the Bruins absolutely want. And Justin Brazeau has also spoken out about this, what he's been doing lately. And this is what he said: I've been through this before. I've been up and down my entire career. It's about knowing who you are, what you do well on the ice, and never trying to be someone you're not. I always go out there knowing exactly what I need to do to help the team. And that has been Brazeau's mentality, and that is something that it seems like he's been living by his entire career. And as you probably seen there when I pulled up the kind of where he's been before in his past, I'll pull it up again. You can see a whole bunch of teams starting off with the Newfoundland Growlers after a 61 season with the North Bay Battalion. After watching him in that season with the Growlers, my hometown team, what a season he had. The one season he had there, you could tell why and how he scored 60 goals. The guy certainly hasn't translated that into the NHL yet, but there's no saying when or if he does at all. And I think that we have a very good chance to see his goal scoring ability skyrocket in the NHL, especially with that net front presence role. We've seen in the past how good players like that, players who have that skill, that role-playing ability in front of the net can play and garner points. And Brazeau is one of those guys that can do that, plus add on many, many other opportunities. So I'm really liking what we're seeing out of him. But as I mentioned, a big reason as to why he's playing very, very good, I think it's going to be a contract year. And this is something the Bruins are going to want to keep an eye on. And in my opinion, lock him up as soon as you can. And the 26-year-old, this is full rookie season here. On the last year of his deal, this rookie level or ELC contract, I'm excited to see that the Bruins are going to try and attempt to get him. That's one thing that it seems like the Bruins are trying to get him more ice time now, see before they commit long-term to him, see if he can play at this consistent level, stay healthy and whatnot. And if he does, he is going to be a big piece of the Bruins' future. And whether that be at the 26-year-old going on 27, whether that be, a 3 or 4 year deal, a 1 or 2, I think the Bruins are certainly going to want to, at some point and in some way, lock him up and have him ready to go for the foreseeable future, whether that is at a top 6, a bottom 6 role, a middle 6, wherever. I see Justin Brazeau fitting with this team as he is the epitome of a Bruin and the cut of a Bruin. So let me know what you think about Justin Brazeau. Obviously, I'm a bit biased. I absolutely love Justin Brazeau, but let me know what you think. That's all I got in this video, though. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. And if you're at this point in the video, be sure to hit the sub button. If you have already, I do very much appreciate it. Try and hit 5K very soon, and that would be awesome if we could do that. But that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.